I'm Nicole Belanta from Rockwell Automation, and we're here to talk about results achieved. I'm joined by two people today, by David and Antonio, to talk about some great results that were achieved at Chicago Heights Steel. Hi David, hi Antonio.
Hello. Hi, Nicole.
So let's start with you, Antonio. Can you tell us a little bit about AIC, your company, and how you got involved in this project?
Yeah, AIC is a system integrator with the steel industry since it was founded. And we met Chicago Heights Steel because they were having some special requests for their mill.
David, what's your role at Chicago Heights Steel, and tell us a little bit about what the company does.
I'm in charge of engineering, electrical and mechanical maintenance of the facility, re-rolling rail steel. And we were facing issues with the automation equipment that we had at the time. We were having too many problems with it, and that's kind of what brought us to, search for a partner that could help us with finding a solution.
So tell us a little bit about this process that we're controlling.
We get old railroad rail, pull out of the ground after they serve the useful life for train tracks. Then we get them into small sections, and then we reheat them. Split them into three pieces: the head, the web, and the flange of the rail. And then we roll a product out of each one of those pieces. So we are basically recycling, rail steel back since 1893.
And so what you mentioned, that the automation equipment was aging. What were the specific issues you were having? Was it spare parts? Was it downtime? Was it all of the above?
So we had basically all of the above. We had equipment that was still installed back in 1959 that was still in service. You actually see some of that equipment at the Museum of Science and Industry here in Chicago. So we were using that equipment, still was in service. And then some of the equipment that was installed in 2004, we were having a number of issues with that as well. Spare parts was definitely a big part of it. Some of the drives were already obsolete, and finding parts, finding drives were definitely, getting harder and harder. So we had to find a solution again that will give us a more reliable, system. If the mill is down, the guys upstream breaking the rail and getting it ready have to stop. The guys downstream processing the fence posts and the other material that we make, don't have anything to process, because we are basically, in about 4 hours, we turn a piece of rail into a fence post or a T-post or a sign post. So we are very lean in that aspect. We pretty much roll, process, paint the product, and ship it within a week. So if the mill is down, everybody's down, everybody's waiting.
What solution did you bring to put in place?
We brought the solution by using Allen Bradley drive, Power Flex drives. So as Dave mentioned, their existing drive were very old. So they were not having capabilities to adjust the speed in a dynamic way. So the first step was to replace these drives with brand new drives without touching the hardware, without touching the machines, basically. Once the drives were replaced, at the same time we wanted to give also a brand new automation system, a control system for the complete mill. So we put in Allen Bradley Control Logics PLC, and with our system to control the rolling mill. And above this system, we installed a Stratus server with the virtual machines by using the Team Manager software suite and Factory Talk view for the HMI screens and the user interfaces.
And what was life like after you had this new system in place compared to where you were beforehand?
Well, it was night and day. I mean, we were able to quickly diagnose, any issues. The ability to go into any of the HMI screens throughout the facility, pull up a screen and be able to just go in there and find out what the problem is from that screen, made troubleshooting, a completely different, game. It simplified, life for my guys in the electrical side and even on the mechanical side, because they can, kind of see something about to happen before it happens. So they can see it very quickly. And we have a screen in the machine shop where they can see the mill is down. They no longer have to wait for the call. They already start heading out. So it has been basically a game changer for us to be able to have all this equipment.
I'm so happy to hear that. And Antonio, I know AIC is a member of the Rockwell Automation Partner Network. We're very grateful to have companies like you that know how to pick and place these different parts and build a system. Do you have any advice or any thoughts for other companies that are facing aging infrastructure, not really sure how to start?
There are a lot of positive aspects in using Allen Bradley products, which, like the first point, I would put the network, having everything integrated in a single system that's definitely a positive point from what I think. So I would say, like, all these companies that they are looking to have a unique system, like where every single piece on the network can be giving diagnosed and informations about the process. It's definitely a point to look at and a positive point for the solution.
I have to say that I took over the electrical side of things just a couple months before I met, AIC for the second time. The equipment, the Rockwell equipment, was basically allowing me to learn on the fly as we were installing the equipment, and I'm coming from the mechanical side to the electrical side. It made it very easy for me to be able to make that transition at the same time that we were making this whole, automation upgrade in our facility. So definitely a time to be able to go look back and say, yeah, it was definitely a challenging project, but a very successful, nonetheless. So.
Excellent. Well, how nice to have both of you and hear kind of both sides of this story. Thank you both for joining me.
Yeah, thank you, Nicole.
You're welcome, and thanks so much for sharing your story. I look forward to hearing more success coming out of Chicago Heights Steel and AIC.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.